No. Ceremonies here, folks. We're still waiting for the teams to show up from the other part. As soon as they are here, we will keep going with the opening ceremonies. We'll keep you up to date as soon as we know.
Only if you had a mic and you know what you're saying right now.
You got the best seats. You got no. You got the best seats. That's the place. You just enjoy it. Oh, it's my pleasure. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. They said to come down. So we won't tell. We won't tell what it is. They announced it. They announced it. Come down. Oh, sorry, I'm getting arguing.
That's okay. The game has decided yet. The game has decided yet. Yeah. This is going live right now. Like, it's gonna start when the game starts. Sorry? Yeah. Yeah.
Ready? Go. No, I love it. I never dive. Except the mud. Yeah. My goddamn Eagles. Well, I was going to ask you if you got it.
I gotta get over. Ryder first. Sorry, I was just talking to Kenny about.
Hey! Beautiful. Romeo. You're not coming with us. Good. Good. Great, we got water?
Ready, we're not ready, apparently.
Hold on, Ken.
You guys want to like you'll go first, right? Coach, don't step on the field. she's like,
But you're on the field. Hey, no, I'm on the field yet. You cannot cross this line. Actually, it's pretty easy. All day success. Yeah. I call this field, I'm doing it all tomorrow. Oh, yeah.
I gotta go get Jeremy and Al. What are they? Up on that mess. I'll get them. Johnny, we're just gonna go and find a home plate. Yes,
Dave, is he was here the whole time?
After when your dad, they had like a tiny bit of space and went up, right, left. I threw it.
There they are, right there.
Ask your dad.
Well, you kind of got to communicate with the good Ontario. It wasn't looking for the Quebec team. It was for the Quebec team. Yes.
Oh, there's Tyler, how nice is that knuckle block for you?
One of them moved about this far,
Yeah,
sideways.
No, I
No,
didn't.
it was sick. No, I will give you that.
Fumble! Fumble!
That's you.
Oh! I was gonna Tyler. Big tie. Okay.
Ryder! Ryder! Go!
Come on, Green.
First out of St. John's, Newfoundland is St. John's Capitals.
Come on, Kenny. Sorry, that's not bad.
Stay off the line. Stay on the first. Stay on the ground.
Sydney
Mark, you'll beat
Nova Scotia Sooners.
You got him? Did they? Somebody else taking something?
No, we're good.
Moncton Fishermen's.
Hey, how do you get out of the way? Oh, Jesus. Sorry. Hey, guys.
Wow, drop.
Good job.
Team Quebec. Windsor, Ontario.
Fred Barker's over and put her for on. I mean, off at his helmet. He went to go hit. Put off like the smell of the rock.
Hey, single five.
Red Army.
I will say.
Of Manitoba, the Oakland Dodgers. From Red Deer, Alberta, the Red Deer Ringers.
I thought you were trying to get
Whitlam, British Columbia, the Whitlam Angels. And from right here in Victoria, British Columbia, the your Victoria Mavericks.
Watch where you're walking in water.
As the teams of the 2018 Baseball Canada Men's Championship. Now please give a warm welcome to the co-chair of the 2018 Canada Men's Nationals, Dave Cockle.
Thank you very much. I'd just like to introduce some people from Baseball Canada that are here supporting us. We've got Alpha Simmons, Baseball Canada, Mary, and from City Victoria, we have Jeremy Davis, and around people like Bob.
Come with me. Where are you going?
Specifically, we recognize the Latvian-speaking people, known today as Ceremonies and Ceremonies nations, and that their historic connections to these lands continue to this day. Thank you. Councilor Lutko, would you like to say a couple words?
Thank you very much. Hi everyone, my name is Jeremy Lutko, the City Councilor in Victoria. I am also a big baseball fan, so I'm very excited to be here to help launch the Canadian National Men's Baseball Championships. It's a great day for baseball, and I want to thank all of the volunteers, all of the sponsors, all of the organizers, and everyone who came together to make this happen. I also want to say thank you to have Victoria chosen for this great tournament. This is great for our economy, it's great for our community. I'm really excited to see the tournament play out, so I hope you all have a great time in the tournament, and good luck to all the teams.
Thank you very much. This time, I'll say a few words. Master of Ceremonies, honored guests, players, coaches, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Baseball Canada and President Jason Dixon, we'd like to welcome everyone to the 2018 Baseball Canada Men's National Championship. A big thank you to the host committee, their many volunteers, and the City of Victoria for making this possible. We can enjoy the great game of baseball. To the players and coaches, your skill, hard work has allowed you to represent your city of Toronto, the province, and the inauguration of this championship. Congratulations to all of you. A special thank you to our national sponsors, Lisbon, Rollins, the Woodward Sports Group, Sport Canada, and my opinion, all teams, good luck, good baseball, and above all, good sportsmanship. Thank you. Round of applause back to you for speech.
fish in the basin? I don't think so, because you're on camera.
7:45, just get to the park. I don't care how you get.
Like, I'd left time at the park. If I was there permanently, like,
Thank you.
Anyone on the Yankees? You can wear that, right? You can wear that on. Hand carved.
Shortstop, number 17, Justin Clarkson. At first, number 25, Charlie Strandland. In right field, number 9, Aiden Goodall. At cage, number 10, Austin Russell. At catcher, number 13, Claire Bowden. And on the hill tonight, for the Mavericks, number 18, Alex Rogers. Moments away to start this one tonight. Just want to give you a reminder that the Lions are selling smokies, hot dogs, onion rings, fries, and drinks right beside the mini donut that's on the first baseline. So check that out. We also have the merchandise booth open and ready to sell you all the great merch from this tournament, as well as Carver Cats gear. Also on the first base side, 50-50. Refs will also be heading around the park as they hand out tickets for the first several days.
got another one target.
Copy. Yeah. You go inside, Ryder's gonna go you.
Are you gonna go first? No, I'm gonna go first.
Yeah.
Even if it's your white turn.
Take the widest turn you can.
But on the way back, Miles will be on the outside, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll be on.
There we go.
Hi, Mace.
It's been 2 hours.
Good? I'm gonna order it.
Or miles. What we could do is you can have the same three, but I run into basic. I'll take one out, Max can take one out. The basic, you take them out?
Oh, yeah. We had
Not really. I don't think they're doing infield outfield.
done takes third. Like, or first. First, I meant to And then I'll take second.
Okay. Wait, they might be.
Get out there, let's go!
First, second.
Thanks to our sponsors, Accent Inc. and Retail Set, Action Sports, Spinnakers, Tesseract Computers, Victoria Mobile Radio, Collins Barrow, Savon Foods, Wilson's Transportation, Emory Electric, Mayfair Electric Clinic, Wallace Driving School, Peninsula Co-op, Island Savings, Avis Car Rentals, Coca-Cola, Main Street Tap House, and of course, the official sponsor of the tournament, BC Lotteries Corporation, BCLC.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, who's he? Oh, you're talking to the camera.
Is everything okay with the mic for camera 3?
So I'm trying plugging it back in, just listen to the radio. If I say plug it back in, just plug it in right there. Okay.
You in charge of my water here?
Here's a backup.
Okay.
Switch out the battery. Everything's in play.
Good evening and welcome to Wilson's Group Stadium at Royal Athletic Park. It's the finale of Day 1 of the 2018 Baseball Canada Men's National Championships, and it's the host team, the Victoria Mavericks, capping us off this evening, facing off against Team New Brunswick, who are represented by the Moncton Fisher Cats. Thanks for tuning in all day long, or if you're just joining us for the first time this evening for the nightcap here in Victoria. It's been a great day of baseball, both here at Wilson's Group Stadium and at Lambrick Park. And we are underway here in the finale of the first day of the 4-day weekend tournament. Victoria Mavericks in all white, the New Brunswick team, the Moncton Fisher Cats, in black and orange, as this one's lined into left field for a leadoff single. That was Sam Lund, the DH, leading off the ball game for the Fisher Cats. And they're off to a good start with their leadoff man aboard here in the top of the first. Pitching for the Mavericks, the righty Alex Rogers getting the ball here in the opening game for Victoria. We'll go through the full New Brunswick lineup 1 through 9 in just a moment. This is Dave Barr, the center fielder, as the Fisher Cats try to rebound from their tough loss in extra innings, an 8-6 defeat at the hands of Team Manitoba, who are represented by the Oak River Dodgers. That game was over at Lambrick Park earlier today, so New Brunswick playing their second game of the tournament, Victoria playing their first. Here, just a little late start with the opening ceremonies getting underway a couple minutes late. Just past 7:20 local time as Rogers misses downstairs here. 2 balls and no strikes is the count from Alex Rogers to Dave Barr, the center fielder for New Brunswick. Here now is the 2-0 pitch. This one is a high chopper to third. Duncan Blades goes to second for 1, on to first, and it's not dug out at first there by Charlie Strandland. So they'll just get 1 as Barr was able to hustle down the line and make it a close play. So Barr is aboard, 1 out now in the top of the first inning, and let's look at the rest of the Moncton Fisher Cats lineup here tonight. Jeff Watkin will hit next. The catcher, Serge Vatour, the home run derby champion from last night, is in left field and batting cleanup. Chris Keating, the third baseman, bats 5th. Mark Phillips, the right fielder, is 6th. Josh Dennis at first base bats 7th. Justin Cormier, the shortstop, is 8th. And Tyler Walchuk, the second baseman, rounds out the order in the 9 spot. There's a first pitch strike from Alex Rogers to Jeff Watkin. The catcher hitting with 1 on and 1 out here in the top of the first inning. And now Rogers is set for the 0-1 pitch. Up and in, but called a strike right on the upper inside corner. Don't think Watkin agreed with that call, but it's ruled a strike. So it's quickly 0-2. You can see Watkin there just having a quick word with home plate umpire David Ford, calling balls and strikes here for this one tonight. Here is Alex Rogers' 0-2 pitch. And it's grounded to third, another chance potentially for 2. There is 1, and that's 2, a double play. 5-4-3 around the horn. The Mavericks turn it, and we go to the bottom of the first inning. In Victoria, no score between the Mavericks and the Moncton Fisher Cats on day 1 of the 2018 Baseball Canada Men's National Championship.
BCLC is proud to be a part of communities across BC. From entertainment and great prizes to jobs and support for the tourism industry, the benefits of our business are province-wide. Every year, our players generate more than $1 billion for the province of BC, which is used to support healthcare, education, and community groups. Together, we play it forward.
This is so good.
Let me show you why.
Our growers, they select the beans, not as easy as it seems. This one's perfect, that one too. So many great beans to brew. Premium Arabica, ship them off to Canada. Arrive at our roastery, sorting, roasting every bean. Taste test each cup. Coffee masters give thumbs up. Handcraft fresh brew. Spreading joy is what we do. From bean to cup, that is how we brew it up.
Cool. How do you make the donuts?
Back here for the bottom of the first inning between the Victoria Mavericks and the Moncton Fisher Cats. Mike Edwards with you for the call of this one, along with Chris Jaycox in the broadcast truck. Thanks for tuning in on Go Live broadcasts here tonight. Just getting the start for the Fisher Cats is Shane Kramer, the left-hander. And for Victoria, it'll be Broden Bydwig, the left fielder, leading it off in the bottom of inning number one. Mavericks, Victoria Mavericks able to turn the 5-4-3 inning-ending double play in the top of the first to get them through to the bottom half, trying to open the scoring here in their first game of the tournament. Kramer misses downstairs. 1 ball and no strikes to Bydwig here to start out the bottom of the first. 1-0 pitch fouled back, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Let's look at the entire Mavericks lineup, fielded by Jim Swanson, the manager. Lance Burrows will hit next, the second baseman. Duncan Blades at third base will bat third. Liam Goodall, the center fielder, is in the cleanup spot. Justin Clarkson, the shortstop, is batting fifth. Charlie Strandland, the first baseman, is sixth. Aiden Goodall in right field bats seventh. Austin Russell, the DH, is eighth. And Connor Mountain rounds out the order, doing the catching for Alex Rogers. 1-2 the count here on Bydwig as he grounds one up the middle. Cormier with a little bobble. The throw is in time and nicely dug out at first there by Josh Dennis on the receiving end. As the throw from Justin Cormier was a little bit rushed after the bobble, but they are able to get the out here to start the bottom of the first. So here is Lance Burrows, the second baseman. And he awaits the first pitch of the at-bat from Kramer. And Burrows takes a strike on the inside corner, 0-1. Mentioned in the top half of the inning that David Ford is the umpire calling balls and strikes behind home plate. Andrew Downs is at first base, and roaming around between second and third is Sean Sullivan. One ball, one strike the count here on Lance Burrows. Duncan Blades waits on deck for the Mavericks here in the bottom of the first inning. Fastball at 86 there from Kramer, misses down and in to Burrows. It's 2 balls and 1 strike now the count. Now time is called before the 2-1 pitch to Burrows. Well, we mentioned that the Mavericks in this tournament are being managed by Jim Swanson, who also is the managing partner of the Victoria Harbor Cats Baseball Club that calls Wilson's Group Stadium home of the West Coast League. Swanson also, though, has a great deal of experience coaching and winning at this tournament. Swanson has won 2 gold and 2 bronze medals as a coach. The golds came with the Prince George Axemen in 2012 and the Langley Blaze in 2014. And as you would expect, there are a lot of Harbor Cats connections with this Mavericks roster here. That's a foul ball off the leg of Burrows. 2 balls and 2 strikes is still the count. There are 7 former Harbor Cats on this Mavericks team. Broden Bydwig, who we saw lead off the inning. Eric Hegadoran, another one from this past year. Dylan Thorpe, Connor Russell, Austin Russell, and Brady Rogers and Alex Rogers are the 7 Victoria Harbor Cats. Speaking of the West Coast League, also another connection as Shane Kramer misses down and away to fill the count 3-2. Kramer, despite representing New Brunswick and the Moncton Fisher Cats, is a native of Chilliwack, BC, and he played in the West Coast League for the Kelowna Falcons, the other of the 2 Canadian teams in the WCL. Burrows with a deep drive to left field. This ball has a chance. It's on the warning track, and it's gone. A solo home run for Lance Burrows to start the ball game off on the right foot for the Victoria Mavericks. It's 1-0 here in the bottom of the first. So an early lead here for the Mavericks in the first inning. And as well tonight, as you would expect with the host team, the Mavericks playing their first game. This one here at Wilson's Group Stadium, by far the best attended of the games here today. There's a swinging strike 1 on Duncan Blades, hitting now with the bases empty and 1 out. Blades takes a strike. Quickly 0-2. Breaking ball down low in the dirt, held up, laid off there by Blades. 1 ball, 2 strikes, now the count. Well, Burrows giving the hometown fans something to cheer about early on in this game. And here now is the 1-2. Outside and low from Kramer. Easy take that time for Duncan Blades to even up the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Close on the 2-2 pitch, just missing in tight. And it's full 3-2. So the Mavericks have made Shane Kramer work already in this ball game. A couple of lengthy at-bats. That Burrows at-bat was on a 3-2 pitch that he hit it over the wall in left field. This one is grounded hard up the middle and past a diving second baseman into center field. Blades will reach base with a single. That one past Walchuk at second. And already a couple of hits in this first inning. The Mavericks looking for more off of Shane Kramer. After the Burrows home run, now it's Liam Goodall, the center fielder. Goodall takes one downstairs for ball 1 on the first pitch he sees from Kramer. Blades aboard at first with 1 out. Already a run home on the Lance Burrows solo blast here in the home half of inning number 1. Little pause in play here, a chance to look at the weather here at game time. 17 degrees Celsius, some hazy skies, and a fair bit of wind blowing out to left field. Perhaps that wind helped the Burrows fly ball just creep over the wall and left a moment ago. There's a strike on Goodall. 1 ball and 1 strike now the count. If you haven't been with us today, then we'll go over the fact that there's been a lot of smoke in the air in the Victoria area and really much of the Pacific Northwest, both in Canada and the United States, as the runner is now picked off between first and second. Avoiding the tag is Blades, but he's still in a rundown. Now they'll run him towards second, and the tag is applied for the out. So after all that, Blades is retired. Bases are now empty with 2 away. But just back to the wildfires in the province of British Columbia, a lot of the smoke from elsewhere in the province has been blown by the wind overhead here in Victoria, which has meant some hazy skies and actually an air quality warning being put into effect. But fortunately, it sounds like the smoke is supposed to dissipate somewhat overnight, and we're expecting that it'll not be too much of a factor in this tournament. You can certainly tell, though, that the smoke is a factor in terms of the visibility from our outfield camera looking in to see the balls and strikes. 2 balls and 1 strike here is the count on Liam Goodall. Base is now empty and 2 away in the bottom of the first inning. And a swing and a miss. It's 2-2. Count now even, 2 balls and 2 strikes, and the pitch from Kramer is cut on and missed, strike 3. So Kramer strikes out Goodall to end the inning, but not before Lanny Burrows able to get the Mavericks on the board with a solo home run. 1-0 Victoria in the lead as we go to the second on Go Live Broadcasts. On to inning number 2 at Wilson's Group Stadium. 1-0, the Victoria Mavericks lead the Moncton Fisher Cats here in the finale of Day 1 of the 2018 Baseball Canada Men's National Championships. Lance Burrows with that solo home run in the bottom of the first inning, getting the scoring started here in this game. Alex Rogers back to work. There is a tapper foul off the bat of Serge Vatour. Quickly 0-2. Vatour last night won the home run derby to kick off this tournament. He hit 6 home runs in total, 2 in the first round and 4 big home runs in the second round to come from behind and win the derby with 6 total long balls. There's a fastball at 84 miles an hour from Alex Rogers, missing off the plate outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Serge Vatour. One and 2 pitch is drilled deep to right, but this one is going to go foul. Vatour just out in front of that one. Did not have home run distance on it, but it would have been extra bases surely had it stayed fair. Batur and the Fisher Cats trying to answer back after the one run was put on the board by the Mavericks in the first inning. Another one tapped foul. Still 1-2. Well, this Fisher Cats team from Moncton is different than the Fredericton Royals team that represented New Brunswick in last year's Baseball Canada Men's National Championship. As Batur drills one deep to right field, and this ball is gone. Right back, Serge Batur showing off what he did 6 times last night in the home run derby. And he answers the Lanny Burrows homer in the bottom of the first. It's 1-1. So we're all knotted up. 2 hits as well on both sides in the hit column. And now it's going to be Chris Keating, the third baseman, getting his first hacks of the ball game. This one a high chopper. That is a foul ball down the first base side. Just back to last year's tournament and Team New Brunswick that was represented by the Fredericton Royals. It was a great tournament for them. They just fell short in the final. They got the silver medal after losing to the Burnaby Bulldogs, who were representing Team BC. But despite the fact that it is a different team, Moncton, the Fisher Cats, there are a lot of returning players who represented New Brunswick last year who are back this year trying to help bring a national championship back home to the province of New Brunswick. We'll talk about some of those players as tonight's game and the remaining games in the tournament go along. This one is grounded up the middle, and it will find its way through into center for a base hit. So a home run and then a single given up by Alex Rogers as Chris Keating finds his way aboard. Mark Phillips, now the right fielder, will step in for his first cuts of the game. And Phillips, by the way, was one of those players that represented New Brunswick last year with the Fredericton Royals. Phillips was a key source of power at the plate for New Brunswick in last year's tournament. He hit .269 with 2 home runs and 10 RBIs in 7 games over the 4-day tournament last year. Phillips fouls one back, and it's 0-1. Here is Alex Rogers searches for his first out of the second inning, trying to put an end to the Moncton rally after that big home run off the bat of Serge Batur. There's a runner at first now with nobody out. 0-1 pitch is served in the air to deep right field. Going back on it, looking up at the wall, and it rattles off the wall. There, Aiden Goodall gets it back in quickly, but going first to third is Keating. And the Fisher Cats are looking for more here in the top of the second inning with runners at the corners and nobody out. Well, we know how important this game is for the Fisher Cats after they dropped a heartbreaker in extra innings earlier today, 8-6 to Team Manitoba. Of course, every game matters so much, as you would expect in the 4-day tournament. Every game is of such high importance to try to first make it through the round-robin stage. But I think some heightened urgency on the part of New Brunswick after they lost their opener. They can ill afford to fall to 0-2. That one's tapped foul off the bat of Josh Dennis, the first baseman. Runners at first and third, nobody out here in the top of the second inning with a run already home in the frame for New Brunswick. Victoria on the flip side looking to improve off of last year's 2-2 round robin. They did not qualify for the knockout round. And the 1-1 pitch is swung on and missed. 1 ball and 2 strikes. It's Keating at third, Phillips at first for the Fisher Cats. 1-2 pitch is flown to deep left field. Bidwig going back, and it's over his head and off the wall. 1 run will score. The throw comes into third, and out at third is Mark Phillips. As the Mavericks do get an out on the play on a good throw back in by Broden Bidwig from left. But Moncton does take the lead on the double to the left field wall. There off the bat of Josh Dennis. That's the opposite field for him as a left-handed hitter. And it's a 2-1 game in favor of the Fisher Cats. Dennis now stands at second with 1 out. Justin Cormier, the shortstop, will dig in for his first chance here tonight. Justin Clarkson trying to keep Dennis close to the bag at second. First pitch from Alex Rogers missed to Cormier. 1 ball and no strikes. That one just misses down low, and it's 2-0. Alex Rogers still trying to settle into the second inning. He looked sharp in the first, got a couple of ground balls, including one that was a 5-4-3 inning-ending double play. Here now the 2-0 pitch, and this one hit hard back up the middle and through into center field. Getting the stop sign at third is Dennis, and runners will be at the corners with 1 out now for New Brunswick, who are still threatening for more in this second inning. There's already 2 runs in. The solo blast by Serge Vatour and the Josh Dennis RBI double. That's going to bring out the pitching coach for the Mavericks to have a chat with Alex Rogers. Just try to settle him down, focus on getting outs. He is still a ground ball away with 1 out and a runner at first from getting through this second inning with just the 2 runs coming in. Very much keeping the Mavericks in the game at a 2-1 scoreline. Home plate umpire David Ford will trot out to the mound now to try to speed this up. But the hitter now will be Tyler Walchuk, the second baseman. And an RBI chance for him if he can stay out of a double play or get something airborne deep enough to the outfield to try to give Josh Dennis a chance to tag and score from third. And here's the first pitch from Rogers to Walchuk. Breaking ball at 74 on the radar gun, just missed upstairs, and it's 1-0. Already some action going on in the Mavericks bullpen. A right-hander has gotten up and has started to throw. .1-0 pitch missing down low. 2 balls and no strikes. Mavericks would love to get at least a little more depth out of this start from Rogers, but as we were just talking about, the importance of each game being so big in this short 4-day tournament, and nobody knows that better than Jim Swanson, who has won 2 gold medals at this tournament and 2 bronze medals in his coaching career. 2-1 the count here to Tyler Walchuk. Josh Dennis is at third, Justin Cormier at first. Here with 1 away in the top of the second. There's a spin and a throw over. Back in safe is Cormier at first base. We talked about Serge Vatour, who hit his home run, and he had the 6 home runs in the home run derby last night. As the 2-1 pitch is coming up here from Alex Rogers. This one is grounded to third, chance for 2. There's Blades to second for 1. The turn to first is in time, double play. The Fisher Cats are adamant that Charlie Strandland's foot left the first base bag, but they're not going to get their wish. And Alex Rogers gets out of the inning with the 2 runs coming across to score. It's 2-1, Moncton in front of Victoria here on Go Live Broadcasts.
Brunswick with down to second. 2 runs on 5 hits. 1 run left on base. Continues to be a significant contributor to the growth and development of baseball Canada and its associated programs. Events such as the World Baseball Classic provide exposure for Canada's top professional players who generate a valuable media coverage and associated revenue from developmental programming initiatives such as the Winter Ball Program and the Baseball Canada Championships. Visit MLB.com. Shortstop number 17, Justin Clarkson.
Here is Justin Clarkson to lead off the bottom of the second inning for the Victoria Mavericks, who trail the Moncton Fisher Cats 2-1 after that 2-run top of the second for New Brunswick. Clarkson takes ball 1 on the first pitch of the inning from Shane Kramer. That big double play turned by the Mavericks to get them out of that second inning with just the 2 runs coming across. That one fouled high away over the left side by Clarkson. 1 ball and 1 strike. Just at the tail end of that last inning, we were talking about Serge Vautour, the home run derby champion, going deep as part of the 2-run frame. The Mavericks had 2 contestants in that home run derby, one of them being Lanny Burrows, who hit a home run for the Mavericks in the first inning. The other was Charlie Strandland. It was a fun way to kick off the weekend last night. 2 balls and 1 strike. This one hit on the ground softly to first, scooped up there by Dennis, and he will take it himself to the bag for out number 1.
Now for the Mavericks, first baseman number 25, Charlie Strandland.
So here now is Charlie Strandland, the first baseman for the Mavericks, and he is no stranger to playing baseball in Victoria, and especially in this ballpark. He was a member of the Victoria Seals in 2010, one of 3 former professional players on the Mavericks. Other 2 professionals, the former professionals, Kyle Orr, who was selected in the 4th round by the Los Angeles Dodgers, and Kurt Horn, a former draft choice of the New York Mets. There's a big swing by Strandland, but he came up empty. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. Kyle Orr, by the way, that was the 2006 MLB draft where he was a 4th-round pick of the Dodgers. Played 4 years in the Dodgers minor league system. And Horn selected in the 2014 MLB draft by the Mets in the 31st round. He also played 4 years in the Mets farm system. Count even here, 2-2 on Charlie Strandland, as the Mavericks now find themselves playing from behind. Just a 1-run deficit after that 2-run top of the 2nd inning for the Moncton Fisher Cats. 2-2 pitch is cut on and missed. And that's out number 2 in the inning. Shane Kramer looking strong here to start out inning number 2. So here now is Aiden Goodall, the right fielder, brother of Liam, who's in the lineup. And the 3rd Goodall brother is Garrett Goodall, who is not on this Mavericks team, but he is coming off an excellent season for the Victoria Harbor Cats this past year in the West Coast League. He was named an All-Star, one of 3 Harbor Cats selected to the West Coast League All-Star team. And he was arguably the Harbor Cats' most consistent and reliable starting pitcher all year long. The 3 Goodall brothers from Nanaimo, BC. Aiden is a former pitcher at UBC, but he also plays in the outfield as he is starting in right here tonight. 1-1 pitch, and a swing and a miss by Goodall. 2-1. Check that, 1-2. Bases empty with 2 away here in the bottom of inning number 2. And the 1-2 pitch is chopped back up the middle. Cormier with the bobble, and that's going to be enough for Goodall to reach base. Expect that to be an error on Cormier to allow Aiden Goodall to reach first and extend the inning now for Austin Russell, the designated hitter. Just back to finish the point on the Goodall brothers. Talked about Garrett and Aiden. Liam Goodall, who is hitting in the cleanup spot and in center field tonight for the Mavericks. He played his collegiate level ball at Embry-Riddle from 2013 to 2016, and he is the program's leader in hits, at-bats, and games played. So Garrett following in Liam's footsteps. He now pitches at Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University, that one in Daytona Beach, Florida. Kramer misses low below the knees of Austin Russell. 2 balls and no strikes the count as the Mavericks try to make the Fisher Cats pay for that 2-out error that kept the inning alive. Throw over to first. Diving back in safely at first base is Aiden Goodall. Connor Mountain, the catcher, would be next if Russell is able to reach here with 2 outs. And Shane Kramer sets and delivers the 2-0. That one is just going to catch the outside corner. 2-1 now the count. Now a quick snap throw to first. Goodall back in once again. Six hits already in the ballgame for the Fisher Cats. 5 of them coming in that 2-run second inning. Mavericks have just 2 hits, one of them being a Lance Burrows solo home run. This one is into left field and will get down for a base hit. Goodall stops at second. And the Mavericks have runners at first and second, now with 1 out, and Connor Mountain, check that, with 2 outs, and Connor Mountain coming up to the plate for his first at bat.
Next for the Mavericks, the catcher, number 13, Connor Mountain.
Well, the Mavericks hosting the tournament for the second consecutive year here in Victoria. They have a number of returning players that also played in last year's tournament. Connor Mountain is one of them. He hit .273 with 2 RBIs in last year's tourney, and we know he's also a very good defensive catcher. Here he's trying to come through with a 2-out RBI base hit to give Goodall a chance to come in to score, but this one is grounded softly to second, and Walchuk throws out Mountain to retire the side. Mavericks held off the board in the second. We head to inning number 3 at Wilson's Group Stadium. Fisher Cats in front 2-1.
BCLC is proud to be a part of communities across BC. From entertainment and great prizes to jobs and support for the tourism industry, the benefits of our business are province-wide. Every year, our players generate more than $1 billion for the province of BC, which is used to support healthcare, education, and community groups. Together, we play it forward.
This is so good. Let me show you why. Our growers, they select the beans, not as easy as it seems. This one's perfect, that one too. So many great beans to brew. Premium Arabica, ship them off to Canada. Arrive at our roastery, sorting, roasting every bean. Taste test each cup. Coffee masters give thumbs up. Handcraft fresh brew. Spreading joy is what we do. From bean to cup, that is how we brew it up.
Cool. How you make the donuts?
To the top of the third inning we go here at Wilson's Group Stadium. 2-1. The Moncton Fisher Cats, representing Team New Brunswick, are on top of the Victoria Mavericks, the host team, once again here for the second consecutive year, with the tournament being held in Victoria for the second and final year in a row. Nothing in one pitch here to Sam Lund, the DH, is in for a strike. That one to even the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. 1-1 pitch is into left field. This will get down for a hit. Is aboard with a leadoff single here to start out the third inning as the Fisher Cats aim to build on their 1-run lead. 7th hit already off of Alex Rogers for Moncton here through 2+ innings. And that will bring the center fielder Dave Barr back up to the plate. Pitch in the dirt, gets a little away from Connor Mountain, and that will allow Sam Lund to advance 90 feet up to second. Talked about the fact that on both sides a number of returning players for both the Mavericks and this the team from New Brunswick. Dave Barr is one of them, and he had a very, very good tournament last year. He hit .567 with a tournament-leading 3 home runs and 15 RBIs in seven games. This one is a high chopper to third. Throw across from Duncan Blades at third base is in time. That'll be out number 1. A nice job as well by Blades to hold the runner Sam Lund at second. Blades, another guy who was a big factor in last year's tournament for Victoria. Blades hit .429 with a home run and 4 RBIs in the 4 games in last year's tourney. And he also plays a very good third base, as he showed off there with the little double clutch on the throw to try to get Sam Lund to commit to running to third. First pitch here to Jeff Watkin, the catcher, misses. 1 ball and no strikes. Rogers with the long look in to Connor Mountain, and now the 1-0 pitch. This one grounded foul past third base to even the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. Still a right-hander warming up for Victoria down the right field line in their bullpen. But the Mavericks are going to try to ride Alex Rogers as long as they can. He is back in a little bit of trouble here in the top of the 3rd inning with Sam Lund at second base and only 1 out. Here's the 1-1 pitch. And this one is drilled deep to left field, and this ball is gone. A 2-run home run for Jeff Watkin, which will expand the Moncton lead to 4-1. And the long ball has been the story thus far in this game. Lance Burrows with a solo home run for Victoria with their only run of the game to this point, and Serge Vautour, his solo shot in the 2nd inning. Now a 2-run shot by Jeff Watkin to make it a 4-1 New Brunswick lead over Victoria. And it'll be Vautour now getting another chance to hit. Pitch misses upstairs, 1 ball and no strikes. Big swing and a miss there by Vautour to even the count, 1-1. One and one pitch misses outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Bases are clear after the home run ball off the bat of Jeff Watkin. 1 out here in the top of the 3rd inning. Now a 4-1 lead for the Moncton Fisher Cats on 8 hits. Reaching out and fouling it away as Vautour. Count evens up at 2-2. Well, we talked about the fact that for New Brunswick, with their tough loss in extra innings to Manitoba this afternoon, that they had a heightened sense of urgency coming into this game, their 2nd of the tournament, not wanting to fall to 0-2. Mavericks, of course, don't have quite that much sense of urgency, although no matter really where you are in the tournament, with how short it is, every game is so important. But the Mavericks, this being their 1st game, at the same time, though, Victoria, the task doesn't get any easier for them. Tomorrow, their next game is against Ontario 1 Tecumseh, who is a perennial powerhouse, a perennial contender, as Serge Vautour drills one deep to right, and he has done it again. Another home run for Vautour, and another run for the Fisher Cats. Makes it 5-1. And out of the dugout comes Jim Swanson. I think that's going to be it for Alex Rogers, as the Mavericks are going to make a change to the bullpen. Serge Vautour is red hot. He had 6 home runs in the Derby last night, and he has 2 more in a real game setting here in this one at Wilson's Group Stadium. We'll be back with the pitching change in a moment.
Now pitching Mavericks, number 12, Adam Sessler.
Back here in the top of the third inning, already 3 runs across in the frame for the Moncton Fisher Cats. And Serge Vautour has gone deep again, his second home run of the night, and that came right on the heels of Jeff Watkins' 2-run blast as the Fisher Cats went back-to-back to knock Alex Rogers out of the game. So Jim Swanson going to his bullpen, and Adam Sessford getting the nod to come in to try to give the Mavericks some innings here in the middle portion of this game. There's a strike here to Chris Keating, the third baseman. 5-1, the lead for Moncton over Victoria now. And it'll be a tough road to come back from against Shane Kramer, who's looked very strong on the New Brunswick side on the mound. But still plenty of baseball left to be played tonight at Wilson's Group Stadium. We're in the top of the third inning, and remember, all games in this tournament are 7-inning games. 2-1 pitch is outside. Check that. That was the 3-1 pitch, and it was ball 4.
Number 17, Mark Phillips.
So that'll bring Mark Phillips back up to the plate to hit. 1 on and 1 out here in the top of the third for New Brunswick. Their 5 runs coming on 9 hits, including 3 home runs. Mavericks just the 1 run on 3 hits, and their 1 run in this game as well, coming off a home run, a solo blast off the bat of Lance Burrows. One 0 pitch is cut on and missed there by Phillips. 1 ball and 1 strike. Pitch low in the dirt, just scooted away from Connor Mountain just a little bit, but he was able to track it down and ensure Chris Keating could not advance to second base. 2 balls and 1 strike, the count now on Mark Phillips. And Sessford is set for the pitch. This one is lifted in the air to right center field. Charging over to it from right field, Aiden Goodall makes the catch, and there's 2 away. The two Goodall brothers, Liam and Aiden, converging on that one. And Aiden took charge of it, calling off big brother Liam. So 2 down now in the inning as Adam Sesford tries to work his way through this top of the third and get the Mavericks back up to the plate to aim at cutting down on this deficit. First pitch misses up high here to Josh Dennis. Dennis doubled in a run his first time up. It's been a productive day at the plate already for a number of hitters in the order for New Brunswick. One 0 pitch is driven into right field for a loud base hit. Stopping at second is Chris Keating. First and second now with 2 away. Already 3 runs in here in the top of the third, but a chance here for Moncton to try to make it an even bigger inning with Justin Cormier, the shortstop, coming up to the plate to hit. He too is 1 for 1. Breaking ball misses outside there from Sesford. 1-0 the count to Justin Cormier.
Shortstop, number 7, Justin Cormier.
Sesford battling out there on the mound, trying to stop the bleeding here for the Mavericks in this third inning. And the 1-0 pitch is hit into left center field. This ball will be caught on the run by Broden Bidwig, and that will end the inning. 3 more runs come across for New Brunswick on a solo shot by Suraj Vatour and the 2-run blast by Jeff Watkin. It's a 5-1 game in favor of the Fisher Cats as we go to the bottom of inning number 3.
4 hits and 2 left on base.
Back here in Victoria, bottom of the third inning, and now a 4-run deficit facing the Victoria Mavericks, the host team, here in their first game on day 1 of the 2018 Baseball Canada Men's National Championships. Shane Kramer now pitching with a bigger lead for New Brunswick, and he's looked good through the first 2 innings. Really the only mistake he's made was the solo home run hit over the wall by Lance Burrows. One and one pitch catches the zone, and it's now 1-2. This is Broden Bydwig, the left fielder, leading it off. He's also the leadoff man in the order for Victoria. Bydwig with a drive out to right center field. This one will fall in for a base hit. Just stroked neatly into the right center field alleyway. Not deep, but did the job to get himself aboard with a leadoff single. And that'll bring up Lance Burrows once again, who has supplied all the offense with that solo home run that we've seen to this point in the game for Victoria. Burrows with a big swing and a miss on that first pitch from Shane Kramer. Changed speeds on him down to 76. And got Lanny Burrows out in front of it. There's a strike. Quickly 0-2. Can see the New Brunswick defensive setup in the outfield really playing Lanny Burrows to pull. The center fielder, Dave Barr, is shading well into left center. And you can also see as the ball just gets away, but not quite far enough away from Watkin. The left fielder, Vautour, playing very close to the foul line down the left field line, whereas the right fielder, Phillips, is quite a ways away from the right field foul line. So a lot of space on the opposite field side of the outfield for Burrows if he wants to try to use it. One ball and 2 strikes the count. There was a quick check on the runner at first, Broden Bydwig, who does have some decent speed. Mavericks, though, at this point in the game are in need of some base runners. We don't expect Bydwig to be running here. Pitch misses down and in. Good block once again by the catcher, Jeff Watkin. And it's 2-2. Nobody out and a runner on first for the Mavericks here in the bottom of inning number 3. And the 2-2 pitch from Shane Kramer is on the way. Burrows with a late swing, fouls it high away over the right side. We'll do it again on 2-2. Here is now another 2-2 pitch. And it's swung on and missed. Strike 3, held on to by the catcher Watkin as Burrows strikes out here for the first out of the bottom of the 3rd inning. So that will bring Duncan Blades back up to the plate to hit for the Mavericks. He has been such an important bat in the lineup for Victoria, and we know, as we talked about the numbers in last year's tournament, he was a big factor for them offensively last year with a .429 average. Right now, the Mavericks just looking to try to string some good at-bats together against Shane Kramer, and they have time here in the finale of this day 1 action at the 2018 Baseball Canada Men's National Championship. They certainly have time, do the Mavericks, but they just need to start chipping away at this 4-run deficit. It is the one thing about the shortened games, all games being 7 innings, is that you don't have that much time to come back if you fall behind. This one, Taylor made to short, and that is no, not quite in time. Very close at first. This time, though, the benefit of the doubt goes to the runner. as Blades was able to stay out of the inning-ending double play. So the inning stays alive here for Liam Goodall, the center fielder, with Blades now at first and 2 gone in the bottom of the third. Kramer's first pitch to Goodall missed well low and below the knees. Ball and no strikes. Goodall, a strikeout victim, his first time up. Trying to put something in play here, and this is his second at bat. One-0 pitch misses up high, and it's 2-0. As Kramer still looking for that final out here of this third inning. He thought that he might have had it on that double play ball. There's the chance that looked like it could have been a double play ball. But trying to refocus in now and get the Fisher Cats through inning number 3 with their 4-run lead intact. There's a check on the runner at first base, Duncan Blades, who is back in. 2 balls and no strikes here on Liam Goodall, the center fielder. And the pitch. This one hit in the air pretty well to deep center. Going back on it is Dave Barr, and he will reach up and make the catch on the run to retire the side. Mavericks held off the board in the third, and we go to inning number 4 at Wilson's Group Stadium. 5-1, Moncton in front on Go Live Broadcasts.
And we'd like to take this time to thank some of the sponsors of the 2018 BC Lottery Corporation Baseball Canada Men's Championship.
Hey, baby! Good job!
Sunday night at 7 p.m. right here at Wilson's Group Stadium. Asset Inns and Hotel Z, Fashion Sports, Spinnakers, Tesseract Computers, Victoria Mobile Radio, Collins Barrow, Savior Foods, Wilson's Transportation, Emery Electric, Media Clinic, Wallace Driving School, Lisa's Co-op, Highland Savings, Katie's Car Rentals, Coca-Cola, HG Tap House, and presenting sponsor is BC Lotteries Corporation, BCLC.
On to inning number 4 here at Wilson's Group Stadium, and first pitch swinging here on the ground to short. Walchuk is safe at first as the throw pulled Strandland off the bag. So a leadoff single here to start out the top of the 4th inning for Tyler Walchuk. This is Adam Sesford back on the mound for Victoria. And the Fisher Cats now off to another good start in this inning here in the 4th, trying to add on to their 4-run lead and put some distance between them and the Mavericks. Walchuk also does his job as the number 9 hitter, getting himself aboard leading off the inning for the top of the order to follow him. This is the DH Sam Lund, who is 2 for 2 with a run scored. Speaking of doing their jobs, Lund certainly has done his atop the order, getting himself on base in this game. 0-1 pitch is in for a strike. Quickly 0-2. Nice start to this at bat for Sesford to get ahead of Lund. Sesford with a peek over his shoulder at first, and now here is the 0-2. High chopper towards third, but that'll go foul.
You got Timothy? Oh, Terry. Go, pal. Get hard. Go.
Adam Sesford still ahead here in this at-bat. No balls and 2 strikes. And that is strike 3 called, painting the outside corner with a beautiful breaking ball for out number 1 here to start out the 4th inning.
Center fielder number 12, Dave Barr.
That'll bring Dave Barr back up to hit as Lund is sat down on strikes and retired for the first time tonight. We talked about the excellent tournament that Dave Barr had last year. He is 0 for 2 though to start tonight's game. Breaking ball down and away from Sesford to start out this at-bat. 1 ball and no strikes on Dave Barr. Waiting on deck is Jeff Watkin, who hit that 2-run home run in his last at-bat. One 1-0 pitch is upstairs, and it's 2-0. Dave Barr ahead here in this at-bat.
Come on, Dave Barr. Go.
2-0 pitch is hit well in the air to deep left center field. Drifting back on it is Bidewig, and this one is going to fall in. A miscommunication in left center, and it'll be a double for Dave Barr. Going to third on the play is Tyler Walchuk. And I'm not sure if the 2 outfielders lost it in the lights or if they just did not communicate with each other as who was taking charge of that ball. But what should have been a pretty routine out in the left center field gap on a high fly ball that was hanging up. Plenty of air underneath that one. Instead, it's a double there for Barr. Going to third is Walchuk. And just like that, the Fisher Cats are threatening once again. Runners at second and third with only 1 out. And the infield will come in now for Victoria. First pitch here downstairs. Good block by Connor Mountain with a lot of pressure on him, of course, to block those balls in the dirt. So Watkin, who hit that 2-run home run in his last at-bat with a chance for more RBIs here. And here now the 1-0 pitch. Watkin right to third, into the glove of Blades, and safe getting back to third base is Welchuk. Well, that would have been quite some double play to get Adam Sesford out of trouble, but it is a big first out and a fortunate one for the Mavericks, as it was perfectly hit to Duncan Blades at third. Runners still at second and third now with 2 away for Serge Vautour. And Vautour in this game is 2 for 2 with a pair of solo home runs. Here he comes up to the plate to hit with 2 men aboard. First pitch to him misses outside, and we would expect, with the base open at first and 2 outs, we would expect Adam Sesford to pitch very carefully here to Vautour. Not sure if it's something in the smoky air, but Vautour just seems to have gotten off the plane and really heated up, both in the home run derby last night and to start the real games here on this day 1 of the tournament. 2 balls and no strikes now the count on Vautour. And I think, in fact, yes, they are. The Mavericks are just going to give him first base. The signal has been made from the dugout. ultimate sign of respect, as they say in baseball, when they're intentionally walking you, and it's, I think, a good strategic decision for the Mavericks to do so here with the way Vitura's been swinging the bat these last couple of days, and especially tonight. So it'll bring up Chris Keating, the third baseman, with the bases now loaded and 2 away. First pitch fastball from Sesford misses downstairs. 1 ball and no strikes. Keating is 1 for 1 with a walk in this game, so he also has yet to be retired. Really is pick your poison at this point with a number of hitters in this New Brunswick order swinging hot bats. This one is popped up into shallow left field, and Duncan Blades actually on the infield makes the catch, and that will get Adam Sesford out of the inning. Fisher Cats held off the board in the frame, and we go to the bottom of the 4th. 5-1, Moncton still in front.
Hey, boy! Hey!
Advantage of 50 tickets out now. Green ticket number 001248. Green ticket 001248.
To the bottom of the 4th inning, and it's the Mavericks trailing the Moncton Fisher Cats by a score of 5-1 here in Game 7 of this opening day slate of games. Day 1 of the 2018 Baseball Canada Men's National Championships. 4 games today here at Wilson's Group Stadium, and an additional 3 over at Lambert Park. There's a swinging strike on Justin Clarkson, the shortstop, starting off the Mavericks half of inning number 4. Quickly, no balls and 2 strikes. And the pitch coming up here, the 0-2 from Shane Kramer. Big breaking ball, tempting, but just up high, and it's 1-2. 5, 6, and 7 due up for Victoria here in this inning. Clarkson, Strandland, and then Aiden Goodall. Trying to get some offense going here for Victoria. Big swing and a miss on the high fastball at 85 from Shane Kramer. And Clarkson could not catch up to it. There's 1 down. So the bases are empty with 1 away now for Charlie Strandland. First pitch to Strandland, a big breaking ball, in for strike 1. Shane Kramer continues to pitch very well for New Brunswick. Through 3 1/3 innings now, he's allowed 4 hits, no walks, just the 1 earned run, and 4 strikeouts as well. There's a Bit of a confused swing and a miss by Strandland, and Kramer's induced a few of those kind of wild swings in this game. It's kept these Mavericks hitters for the most part off balance. 0-2 pitch is chopped foul there by Strandland over towards the dugout of the Fisher Cats. 0-2 still the count. Kramer now sets and delivers another 0-2. High fastball, that one at 84 on the radar gun, missing upstairs. 1 ball and 2 strikes now. And here now is the 1-2. This one fouled back to the screen by Strandland. Still 1-2 the count. At the very least, the Mavericks trying to make Shane Kramer work a bit in this inning. Strandland is doing that here in this at-bat with a number of balls fouled away. One-two pitch is well high and outside. Count moves now even to 2-2. Relatively easy take that time for Strandland. And now here is Kramer's 2-2 offering. Reaching out, a soft liner to second and right into the glove of Walchuk for the second out of the frame. That was just a little soft liner. Was a bit of a tough play for Walchuk. I don't think if he was certain right off the bat if he was going to be able to get to that ball or try to take it off a hop. But it did hang up for him, was able to go down to a knee and snag it in the air for the line out. So quickly 2 down here in the bottom of the 4th inning. This is Aiden Goodall, the right fielder, stepping back in. Kramer ahead 0-1. And the pitch. That one down low below the knees of Goodall. 1 ball and 1 strike. One pitch is high and outside. Another fastball, that one up at 85 from Shane Kramer. Velocity still very good for him in the mid-80s. Count is now 2-1 to Aiden Goodall. And Kramer delivers the pitch. There's a strike on the inside corner, and it's 2-2. David Ford, the home plate umpire, with a little bit of a late strike call on that one. He took his time to think about it. Count, though, is even now 2-2, and this one's grounded up the middle off the pitcher. Now off Cormier and into left field. So that'll go down as a single for Aiden Goodall. 5th hit of the game for the Mavericks, and now everyone will come out to the mound to make sure that Shane Kramer is okay. And with a swoop of the glove, Kramer says, no, don't worry about it, I'm all right. So Aiden Goodall aboard at first with the base hit. This is Austin Russell, the DH, taking one down and in. 1 ball and no strikes the count, and now here is the 1-0 pitch. That one fouled back to the screen. 1 ball and 1 strike. Mavericks still trying to get something going against Shane Kramer. In search here of a 2-out rally now after the Aiden Goodall base hit. But it has not been easy for them offensively at the plate. Kramer's done a very nice job locating his pitches, throwing a lot of strikes. As that one is popped foul off the bat of Russell. It's 1-2. Now a throw over to first base, and Goodall is back in. Well, the sun is set here in Victoria on day one of this 2018 Baseball Canada Men's National Championships. The floodlights in the outfield are in full effect. That one misses downstairs to Russell. 2-2 the count. You can also see the smoke kind of hanging above the field, and you can see that with the lights on. Count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the pitch to Russell is hit on the ground to second. Walchuk, the scoop, the flip to second. And that'll be all for the Mavericks here in the fourth. We head on to inning number 5. It is 5-1 Fisher Cats.
Let's go now. Hey, Phil, you're gonna start it, kid. Let's go. Let's go, boys. Let's go. Hey, babe. Let's go. Let's go now. Let's go.
Put the pedal down on the guy. Make it a sleeper.
Fifth inning rolls in here at Wilson's Group Stadium, and it's still a 5-1 lead for the Moncton Fisher Cats over the Victoria Mavericks. Still out there pitching is Adam Sesford, who came in a couple innings ago to relieve the starter Alex Rogers. Wheels just kind of fell off for Rogers in that third inning with a couple of home run balls in that frame. But Sesford's done a nice job since he's entered this game. He escaped a bases-loaded jam in the last inning, the top of the fourth, and he has kept Moncton at the 5 runs. So he's done his job to keep Victoria in the game. There's a breaking ball just missing in tight. 2-2 the count. Here to Mark Phillips leading off the 5th inning for the Fisher Cats. One and 2 pitch is well outside. That time I think Mountain got crossed up. Count now is 2-2. That was a 1-2 pitch. But Sesford just back to his appearance out of the bullpen, trying to put up another scoreless inning here in the top of the 5th. and then give the Mavericks a chance to get their bats going in the bottom half, as that one is in for a called third strike on Mark Phillips. So out number 1 here to start the 5th. Nice pitch there from Cessford to freeze Phillips at the plate. There's a wave and a miss by Josh Dennis, the first baseman, on the first pitch of this at-bat facing Cessford. And now here is the 0-1. That one downstairs to even the count, 1-1 now. Last pitch missed outside. 2 balls and a strike. Two-1 is popped up on the infield, maybe out to shallow right, and Lance Burrows hauls it into his glove for out number 2. We talked about Cessford getting out of that bases loaded jam in the last inning. He is trying to work through a nice quick 1-2-3 frame here in the 5th. Still though, no matter what, it's been a very good day at the plate for these New Brunswick hitters. 12 hits already in the game, and we'll make it 13 as that one's up the middle past Clarkson and through into center. So they'll credit Justin Cormier with another base hit. He has a 2-hit day going. And that'll bring up the second baseman, Tyler Walchuk. Walchuk looked at one outside off the plate. Missing there from Adam Cessford. Base runner at first is Justin Cormier with 2 away. And here now the 1-0. That one missing up high. 81-mile-an-hour fastball from Adam Cessford. 2 balls and no strikes. Cessford unable to get the 1-2-3 inning with the base hit given up to Justin Cormier. Still a chance though for him to work through a quick inning and a stress-free inning if he's able to get the hitter here at the plate, Tyler Walchuk. There's a strike to get back in the count. Check that, ball 3. 3 balls and no strikes is the count here on Walchuk. And Cessford now comes set and delivers the 3-0 pitch. There's a strike right down the middle. Looked like Walchuk was taking all the way. Still a good hitter's count here, 3-1, although Walchuk might be trying to take another one to turn the order over with 2 outs and 2 on for New Brunswick here in this 5th inning. Here is the 3-1 pitch. There's another strike right in at the knees of Walchuk to fill the count 3-2. Runner at first with 2 away and a full count here in the top of the 5th inning. Justin Cormier will be breaking on the pitch. And the 3-2 in tight for ball 4. And the inning will continue for the top of the order, and Sam Lund now once again getting another chance to hit. 2-1 and 2 out for Moncton now here in the top of the 5th inning. Make that as Troy Burtwhistle is out of the dugout for the Mavericks. Make that, excuse me. Just a chat on the mound, not a pitching change. Sam Lund struck out looking his last time up, but he still is 2 for 3 with a run scored in this game. So it's Cormier at second, Walchuk at first, with 2 gone now in the top of the 5th. And here is the first pitch from Cessford to Lund. Hit on the ground, hard up the middle. Diving stop there. The flip to second is wild into the pitching mound area, and in to score all the way from second is Cormier. Good hustle there by Justin Cormier to read that flip that was not on the mark. It was a great diving stop there at short by Clarkson, but the glove flip just missed the second baseman Burrows covering the bag. And so another run scores for Moncton, and a pitching change here for Jim Swanson and the Victoria Mavericks. We'll be back with the info of the new pitcher when we return on Go Live Broadcasts.
BCLC is proud to be a part of communities across BC. From entertainment and great prizes to jobs and support for the tourism industry, the benefits of our business are province-wide. Every year, our players generate more than $1 billion for the province of BC, which is used to support healthcare, education, and community groups. Together, we play it forward.
Here's a wild pitch as we resume play in the top of the 5th inning from Mitch Davidoff, the new pitcher, the right-hander in for the Mavericks. First pitch he threw was wild to the backstop, which allows both runners to advance. Walchuk up to third, Lund up to second. This is Dave Barr, the center fielder, getting a chance to hit. And now with the 2 base runners in scoring position, a base hit here from Barr would really give New Brunswick a chance to put this one not out of reach, of course, but really that much further to being out of reach, and make it that much more difficult for Victoria to come back from. This ball is drilled deep in the air to right field, and you can sit back and watch it fly. No doubt about it for Dave Barr. A 3-run blast will make it a 9-1 ball game for New Brunswick. And you knew it right off the crack of the bat. Dave Barr just unloaded on that pitch to make it a 9-1 ball game. So that'll bring Jeff Watkin back up to the plate to hit, and remember, he hit a 2-run blast earlier in this game as well. That one came back in inning number 3. There's a strike on the first pitch from Davidoff to Watkin. Well, if the host Victoria Mavericks cannot come back from this deficit here in the remaining 3 innings tonight, they will have to regroup quickly before they play Ontario 1 Tecumseh tomorrow. New Brunswick certainly has answered the bell, as we talked about, with them dropping their first game, wanting to avoid falling to 0-2 in their first 2 games. Mavericks will have to do the same, again, if they are able to come back tomorrow. Count is 1 ball and 2 strikes here on Jeff Watkin. Bases now empty with 2 away in the top of the 5th. What has turned into a 4-run 5th inning for the Moncton Fisher Cats. One and 2 pitch is drilled deep to left field. Did this one get enough? Yes, it did. It's gone. Back-to-back home runs over the left field fence. This time it's Watkin with his second of the game, and it's a 10-1 ball game. A couple of, I think, just mistakes left over the plate by Mitch Davidoff, and both Dave Barr and Jeff Watkin did not miss them. So now a 10-1 ball game in favor of New Brunswick. And the hitter is Serge Vatour, who has already homered twice in this game, and you can bet what's on his mind. He's thinking about going back-to-back-to-back, both in terms of his own plate appearances and in terms of the sequence of this inning, with Barr's home run, Watkins' home run, and now Vatour getting another chance to hit. That one just missed down low. 2 balls and a strike on Serge Vatour. Two and 1 pitch in tight. 3-1 now the count. Three and 1 pitch, not close once again. It's a 2-out walk. Davidoff just has not been able to really find it on the mound since he's come in to relieve Adam Sesford. So Vatour draws his second base on balls tonight. That'll bring up Chris Keating for another chance. Keating in this game is 1 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. There's a first pitch strike from Davidoff to Keating to get off on the right foot in this at bat. This one's lined into center and will drop in for a base hit. Inning will just keep on going for New Brunswick, who are clearly seeing the ball well out of the hand of Mitch Davidoff. There is now a left-handed pitcher warming up for the Mavericks in their bullpen. Troy Burtwhistle is going to come out to have a chat now with Davidoff. Mavericks, though, of course, do not want to use up too many of their relievers in this game, a game that may perhaps already be out of reach. And at this point, I think Jim Swanson and Troy Burtwhistle and this coaching staff for the Mavericks will want to save their good arms for what they hope are bigger games and tighter games to follow in the tournament. And every team really is already has a lot of pressure on their pitching staff. With so many games in 4 days, not a lot of time for guys to rest their arms. And it's very difficult to manage the bullpen in a spot like this, where you do need to pitch the last couple innings of this game, but you don't want to to overexert guys who you are expecting to use later in the tournament. So there's runners at first and second, 2 outs here in the top of inning number 5. Count is a ball and a strike here on Mark Phillips. Phillips has not homered tonight in this game, but we will remind you that he did hit 2 home runs on this field in the tournament last year. There's a strike from Davidoff, 1-2. 10 runs on 17 hits now in the ball game for New Brunswick. Just a run on 5 hits on the Maverick side of the scoreboard. And the 1-2 pitch is down low in the dirt. Connor Mountain with a good block, and it's 2-2. Two balls and 2 strikes. And this one is shot foul over towards the bullpen area of the Mavericks. Count holds at 2 balls and 2 strikes, along with 2 on and 2 out here in the top of inning number 5. Already it's been a 5-run top of the 5th for New Brunswick. And here's the pitch from Davidoff. That is strike 3 called, or is it? No, they're going to say it's a check swing and no swing at first base. So a little confusion there. But ruled ball 3 after all that. So it was ruled a ball and ruled no swing there for Mark Phillips. Here's the payoff pitch. Soft grounder up the middle to short. Charging it is Clarkson. The throw on the run is in time. And that is the inning. 5 more runs come across the plate to score for New Brunswick. It's 10-1 as we go to the bottom of inning number 5.
Brunswick in the top of the 5th inning, 5 runs on 5 hits and 1 error. 3 left on base.
Connor Mountain digging in to lead off the Mavericks half of inning number 5. 9-1-2 scheduled to hit for Victoria in this bottom of the 5th, with Mountain, Bydwig, and Burrows due up. New pitcher as well on the mound for New Brunswick. It's Josh Dennis, who got the start at first base in this game, so he moves from first onto the mound to throw here for the Fisher Cats. Dennis misses up high there to Mountain on the first pitch. And now here is the 1-0 offering. That went downstairs below the knees, and it's 2-0. Well, we talked in the last inning about the fact that the Mavericks do not want to use all of their pitchers in this game and really have to bring guys in who they're expecting to want to use in some tighter situations later in the tournament, keep everybody fresh. And I think the same goes for this New Brunswick team. On the flip side of a blowout, they too don't want to have to use all of their pitchers in a game that they think that they've already won or are close to have won. So they're bringing Dennis in here to throw as this one is drilled to deep left center field, but it's going to stay in the yard, and it's caught by Dave Barr in left center for out number 1. So Mountain is retired. Back to the top of the order now for Broden Bydwig, the left fielder. Bydwig 1 for 2 tonight. One of the 7 ex-Victoria Harbour Cats. He was a recent Harbour Cat, in fact played for Victoria this year at the very start of the West Coast League campaign, when Victoria were still waiting for a number of their regular players to arrive. Bydwig stepped in and did a very nice job filling in at the start of the year, primarily playing shortstop for Brian McRae's Victoria Harbour Cats. Here in this national tournament in the first game for the Mavericks, he is starting in left field. Nothing in 1 pitch is cut on and missed. Nothing in 2. Pitch misses up high there to Bydwig. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Big swing and a miss as he tied him up into a knot there. Bydwig down swinging for out number 2. Nice pitch there from Dennis. Interesting to note, on the official roster that every team had to submit for this tournament, there are 2 spaces for positions, position 1 and position 2. A lot of guys on a lot of the teams have either position 1 or position 2 as a pitcher, and then a outfield, infield, or a catcher, of course, a position player spot for the other of their 2 positions. But that is not the case for Josh Dennis. So we did not expect to see him pitch in this tournament, but he has come in here, and he's done a nice job to this point, recording the first 2 outs of the bottom of the 5th. 2-0 pitch now is in the dirt. It's 3 balls and no strikes on Lance Burrows. Still the only run in the game is off the bat of the hitter at the plate currently, Lance Burrows. The solo home run way back in inning number 1 that got the Mavericks out to a 1-0 lead. Since then, it's been all Fisher Cats, 10 unanswered runs on the board for their 10-1 lead. 3 balls and 1 strike here, the count on Lanny Burrows with 2 away, and the base is clear. That one will miss up high for ball 4, and the inning will continue now for Duncan Blades. So Burrows is at first. He is not being held on here with the big lead for New Brunswick. Duncan Blades at the plate, taking a strike there from Dennis on the first pitch of this at-bat. Now Dennis delivers the 0-1. Big breaking ball, just missed, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. One and 1 pitch is popped up on the infield. Looks like it'll be the second baseman, and it's dropped on the infield. That will allow the inning to continue. Tyler Walchuk did not take the most direct route to that ball. He also had to contend with Lance Burrows running from first to second, but Burrows did stay in the baseline, so he didn't do anything wrong as a base runner. That was all just Walchuk losing it. Just got a glove on it, but could not see it into his glove. So the Mavericks get a second life here in this bottom of the 5th, and that'll bring up Liam Goodall, the center fielder. Goodall 0 for 2 with a punch out in his 2 at-bats to this point in the game. Count is 1 ball and no strikes as that first pitch from Dennis missed to Goodall. Another one missing downstairs, 2 balls and no strikes. Two on and 2 out here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Mavericks have a long road to try to come back from this deficit, but if they're going to have a chance to, I think it's clear that it's imperative they get something out of this 5th inning. Dennis able to get back in the count on that last pitch with a strike. It's 2-1. And now here is the offering on 2-1 to Goodall. This one's lifted in the air to right field, but it's going to hang up in right for Phillips, who puts it away to end the inning. Mavericks once again unable to scrape any runs across, and they trail 10-1 as we head to inning number 6.
Come on, give it up any at bats. Come on. Go to work. Put up 20. Boys, let's go now. Go, boys. Put up 20. Davey.
Take a little tap here to thank the committee for their work this weekend putting on this tournament. Williams, umpire Chief Trevor Roy, Chair umpire scoring director Eric Hudson, head staffer Brad Morris-Jones, Christian Stewart and John Hollow, facility directors Ken Hollow and Dave Gardner, media broadcast and social media, Mike Edwards, Shane Mills, and Diane Harlow, ticketing, Charlie Cockle, and Bonnie Hammerman. Thanks everyone for their work this weekend.
On to the top of inning number 6 here at Wilson's Group Stadium. 10-1 is the lead for the Moncton Fisher Cats, looking to improve to 1-1 in the tournament on the opening day. Victoria Mavericks in some big trouble here in this game, as they are in jeopardy of falling to 0-1, which will put a lot of pressure on them tomorrow to try to come back and defeat Ontario 1 Tecumseh in their second game to improve to 1-1 at that point. 3-0 pitch here, misses for ball 4. A 4-pitch walk issued by Mitch Davidoff to start out the 6th inning. Well, we have had a couple of lopsided scorelines today at both parks in this tournament, and this certainly is one of them here in the finale of what's been otherwise a great day of baseball here in Victoria, again at both fields. Victoria Mavericks will try to again get back in the win column tomorrow against Ontario 1 Tecumseh. There still is some time, but it's going to be a monumental comeback needed by the Mavericks to have any chance here tonight. They'll have just 6 outs remaining when they come back up to hit in the bottom of the 6th, and they're trailing 10-1. This is Justin Cormier, the shortstop, hitting with a runner at first and nobody out. 1 ball and 1 strike the count. There's a strike on the outside corner. It's 1-2. Pitch just outside, missing for 2 balls and 2 strikes. Another close one going for that outside corner there by Mitch Davidoff, but he was unable to hit that spot, so it's full 3-2. Cormier the hitter, Dennis at first. So with him on the mound, that means New Brunswick has forfeited the DH in this game. And it's another walk issued by Mitch Davidoff. Now first and second, nobody out in the top of the 6th inning. Well, when we have a chance, let's go through all the scores today at both fields on day 1 of the 2018 Baseball Canada Men's National Championships. The 2 9 a.m. games, we saw Quebec here at Wilson's Group Stadium defeat Newfoundland and Labrador 6-1. In the 9 a.m. game at Lambrick Park, Alberta, represented by the Red Deer Riggers, took down Ontario 2 Ilderton 8-0. The 12 p.m. games here in at Wilson's Group Stadium, we had Ontario 1 Tecumseh just edge out Nova Scotia, represented by the Sydney Sooners. That one a 2-1 scoreline. Over at Lambrick Park in the 12 p.m. game was the game that featured these Moncton Fisher Cats, an 8-6 victory for Manitoba over New Brunswick. That one in 8 innings, an extra inning game that was decided in the 8th. A 3 p.m. game at Wilson's Group Stadium this afternoon. Team BC, the Coquitlam Angels, defeated Alberta, the Red Deer Riggers 7-2. And the final game at Lambrick Park today at 3:45. Quebec, once again, winners over Ontario 2 Ilderton by a score of 4-0. So Quebec is off to a 2-0 start on day 1. Those were the other 6 games that happened today during the day at both Wilson's Group Stadium and at Lambert Park. This one is passed to diving center fielder and will roll all the way to the wall. 1 run scores. Here comes the trail runner for the plate, and it will score as well. A 2-run double here for Tyler Walchuk makes it an 11-1 lead. And the runs just keep on coming for the Moncton Fisher Cats. 11 runs on 18 hits. They scored 2 in the second, 3 in the third, 5 in inning number 5, and 1 more now, make that 2 more here in inning number 6. So it's actually a 12-1 lead. Check that for New Brunswick on that 2-run double. And it just has not been a good day coming in for from the bullpen for Mitch Davidoff. No balls and 1 strike is the count. That one misses downstairs, 1-1. One pitch misses off the plate outside. 2 balls and 1 strike now. This is a pinch hitter, by the way, at the plate for New Brunswick. Sean Bartley getting a chance to swing the bat as he lifts one into shallow left field. This ball is going to fall in. That's a fair ball, and it's trouble. Racing around third in to score is Walchuk. It's a single on the little bloop down the left field line, just tucked in fair there by Bartley, and that's now a 13-1 lead in favor of the Fisher Cats. Well, it has been a long day already here on day 1, and it's been a long day for Mitch Davidoff out of the bullpen for the Mavericks, and I think it's clear that Jim Swanson and this Mavericks coaching staff does not want to use any other pitchers if they don't have to, so Davidoff is going to have to be the guy that gets these last couple outs here of this inning. Here now is Dave Barr, the center fielder. And it's outside and low on the first pitch to him. 1 ball and no strikes. If you're still with us, we thank you for tuning in tonight for the feature game between the Victoria Mavericks and the Moncton Fisher Cats. If you've been with us all day, we hope you've enjoyed the day's action here at Wilson's Group Stadium. Also, just a note from myself, we thank you for bearing with a bit of a raspy voice that has been kind of coming and going all day long. Fortunately, we do have Jamison Schultz-Franco as this ball is drilled to deep left, and this ball is gone. Another home run for Dave Barr, a 2-run shot to go along with his 3-run home run. He now has 5 ribbies tonight, and it's a bigger lead for New Brunswick, 15-1. Well, the Mavericks on paper, we know they have a very competitive team. It just has not gone their way tonight, and the wheels kind of fell off in the first couple innings for Alex Rogers, and at that point I think the wind was out of their sails. I think at this point everybody in the park on the Mavericks side is just focusing on that game tomorrow against Ontario 1 Tecumseh. For New Brunswick, though, they're having a lot of fun sending their guys up to the plate to hit, everyone seems like they're trying to outdo the last guy to hit at the plate. Dave Barr now with the 2 home runs. Another 5-run inning here in the 6th, right after the 5-run inning put up in the 5th inning for the Fisher Cats. That one comes inside and just missed hitting Jeff Watkin. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Also an even 20 hits now in the game for New Brunswick. This one is flown to shallow left field. Drifting in on it is Bydwig, and he will put it away for the first out of the top of the 6th. So up steps Serge Vautour once again. He has a couple of home runs to his name in this game. And it does seem like they're all swinging for it. And hey, why not? In a big blowout lead, you got a bunch of guys who clearly have the pop in their bats to hit it over the fence. So how about this? Dave Barr, Jeff Watkin, and Serge Vautour have all hit 2 home runs each in this game tonight. Reaching out and fouling it back that time was Vautour. No balls and 2 strikes. That one's downstairs. Did not get Vautour to try to chase it, and it's 1-2. Big swing and a miss, and there's a punch out for Davidoff as he got Barr wound up for a big swing. There's 2 down now here in the top of the 6th. Another pinch hitter here for New Brunswick. And taking strike 1 there from Mitch Davidoff. It's Marcus Coates from Riverview, New Brunswick, getting a chance to pick up a bat and hit here. There's a strike, quickly 0-2. It's no fun being in the shoes of Mitch Davidoff where you're just not pitching well, but you know your team is relying on you to get some outs and get the rest of this game in terms of the Mavericks side on the pitching side through to the 7th. Because as much as Davidoff is not having fun out there on the mound, he knows that it's best for the team for him to just continue this relief appearance and save the rest of their arms for the big games coming up in the next couple days. 2 balls and 1 strike here on Coates. There's a swing and a miss. Check that. That was the 1-2 pitch, and the inning is over. Another 5 runs come across to score for the Fisher Cats. It's 15-1 as we go to the bottom of inning number 6.
The Toronto Blue Jays continue to be integral partner in the development of baseball across Canada. Baseball Canada would like to thank the Blue Jays for their tremendous support throughout Baseball Canada National Championships, along with providing their expertise and advice, which continues to enhance the relationship between professional and amateur baseball in Canada. Please visit BlueJays.com and go Jays go!
Yeah, boy.
Now batting for Victoria, number 17, Justin Larson.
Justin Clarkson leading off the bottom half of the 6th inning in a big blowout, what's turning into a blowout victory here in the first day of the tournament for the Moncton Fisher Cats. 15-1, they lead the Victoria Mavericks. And Josh Dennis is back to the mound here to work the bottom of the 6th. Now the 0-1 pitch is grounded to first, taking it unassisted to the bag for the first out as Clarkson is retired. That'll be out number 1 here in the bottom of inning number 6. Pinch hitter here for the Mavericks now, Kurt Horn, will get a chance to swing the bat in place of Charlie Strandland. Horn takes a strike in there at the knees from Dennis, 0-1. Big breaking ball misses up high, 1 ball and no strikes. Check that, 1 ball and 1 strike. There's a swing and a foul back, and it's 1-2. Looked like Dennis just lost the grip of that pitch as it bounced well in front of home plate. 2-2 now the count on Kurt Horn. That is strike 3 called. Horn down looking on a nice pitch there by Dennis to ring him up. And that's out number 2. Aiden Goodall getting another chance to hit here, the right fielder. Goodall thus far in the ball game for Victoria is 1 for 2. This one is driven into center field, racing over to it towards the gap, and making the catch is Dave Barr, and that's the inning. And I think that's going to be the ball game as well, as we have reached the innings limit for the run rule. So the Moncton Fisher Cats flood onto the field and celebrate a big win, 15-1. They take down the Victoria Mavericks. A disappointing first game of the tournament for the Mavericks, but they have no time to shrug their shoulders. They're going to have to pick it right back up tomorrow for a very big game against Ontario 1 Tecumseh to try to avoid falling to 0-2. Big win, though, for the Fisher Cats to bounce back to 1-1 after a heartbreaking loss in extra innings to start their tournament earlier today. Well, we thank you very much for tuning in all day long and here tonight for the feature game between the Victoria Mavericks and the new Team New Brunswick, the Moncton Fisher Cats. Your final score tonight from Victoria, it's New Brunswick 15 and Victoria 1. We'll be right back here tomorrow morning bright and early at 9 a.m. for some more baseball.